Hello guys, welcome to this another CSS tutorial. Continuing from where we stopped in the last tutorial. Today's tutorial we're gonna be talking about the CSS box model. Now, the CSS box model is all about understanding how content are being placed on the browser and how does CSS view the content in terms of what? In terms of the space that the content is occupying. Okay, so if you look at my HTML web page, I have a div, right? And in this div, I have one image, and I have an image. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my web page. So this image describes what we call the box content, the box model for every content that have been added. You see, this image, this image that you can see now, we assume that this entire image is the content, which is the content in this area, right? Now, immediately after the content, the next space around that area is known as the padding, right? Then the next space, the next invisible box around immediately after the padding is the border. So if I add a border to this image, that means if I add a padding and a border, then the padding tends to tends to cover the content before the border will cover the content, right? Okay, so then immediately after the border, we now have the margin, right? So the upper part of the content is known as top. Then this is the right part, this is the bottom part, and this is the left part, right? So if you look at the lines, you see the content. This is where your content is really occupying. Then immediately around the content we have the padding. So if you apply a padding to a content, then the padding is gonna be applied immediately after the content. If you apply both a border and a padding, then you see the border giving a lot of space for the padding first. So that means the border is surrounding the padding and the margin is surrounding the what? The border. Okay, so for example, now I'm gonna add a border to this my image and you see it. So I'm gonna define a class here. I'll call it class image, right? In our last class we've created classes. So I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom of my CSS page and I'll just say dot image. That's a class, right? Okay, then I'm gonna give it a border, say border, although we've not treated border, but then just gonna say border solid red, right? Now if I refresh my web page, what do I have now? Okay, let's see. Image, class image, yeah, class is image. Okay, border is gonna be solid, let's say 3 pixel red. Oh, okay. So let's see. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna give the class to, okay, no, sorry, I've not what I've not done is okay, good, I see where the problem is coming from. I have to link my CSS, so I'm gonna just link this CSS now, index.css, right? And I'm gonna just refresh that. If I do refresh it, you can see my image now has a border around it, 3 pixel red border. Now if I apply a padding, you're gonna notice that the padding will come in between the image and this red line, right? So to understand that padding, if I say padding maybe 40 pixels, right? As I save and I refresh it, can you see this is my image, right? And this is my padding. So this space here between here and here is my padding, and this is my border. So then the outside of the border we now have the what? The margin. So we have margin. If I say margin 50 pixel, you see additional space now, but then it's gonna be outside of You can see. So from all the space around this div here is my what? Is my margin. Okay. So that's what the CSS box model is all about. So that you need to know how one box or one content is relating to another, and when you want to place them next to one another and you want to increase padding or decrease padding, increase the border or decrease the border, or you want to do one thing or the other, or increase the margin spaces around the containers. So when you want to create a space between one container and another container, then you know, should I use a margin, should I use a padding, and all that. Okay. So we also have as earlier explained, you see we have top, right, bottom, and left. So that's how we have padding top, padding bottom, margin right, margin left, margin top, margin bottom. The same thing with border top. So I can choose to decide. I can decide to add just maybe border top. Say okay, border top like this, and then the border will appear just at the top like this. Okay. So we're gonna cover padding, margin, and border in depth in our next tutorial. So see you then.